Lambo to add on the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fields this way up at the 17. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Isaiah McKenzie, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bills are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that will cut this lead down to 25. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they get 17 more on that one and another first down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he shifts past him. Flashes another juke. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Chris Godwin with his 2nd touchdown of the night. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. Kicks it on the ground with a squib taken around. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Texans scoop it. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Kicks it on the ground with a squib, taken around the 28. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Garoppolo looks to throw. His throw incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. And I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Get a look at receiver Chris Godwin as this offense returns for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Looking downfield for Godwin. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. And, Charles, you think about this offense, and it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And now he'll let this one go deep, back over the middle. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown, Houston. Chris Godwin, 75 yards. And the Texans get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's Chris Godwin who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. It's a squibber picked up around the 27. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Throwing again on second down. Garoppolo.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. Dashing through the snow.
That's what it is, baby. That's what it is.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on go ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. It's their quarterback with now his second touchdown of this third quarter.
And the Texans add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. It's a squibber picked up around the 27. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And a powerful stiff arm. It frees him. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Here's Garoppolo on first and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. And I don't know that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline is still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Right back to Dobbins on first.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
J.K. Dobbins
with another touchdown, number 24 on the year.
And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I probably send a note to the clock operator. Let it run.
Lambeau on for the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. One play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Well, I wish this staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the fourth quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits. I'd get the backups in there if it were me.
Yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Get a look at receiver Chris Godwin as this offense returns for their next drive. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team.
There he goes. And oh, at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. It's a squibber picked up around the 27. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. He finds his man complete. That's McKenzie. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it'll be 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. Amazing, perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. Oh, up and over. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Wow, 185 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll go again with Dobbins. Taken down at the 42.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Gets around him. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. A give up the mid. And he loses the football a 2nd time. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. Oh, what a juke into space. Look at those stick skills. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Back to throw here. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 19. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Skirts by at the 15, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Houston, they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, it's a loss that could wind up hurting a little as they fall now to 11-4. And they'll
I gotta be great. That's the God up in me. Whoa, yeah. Hold me, they cannot hold me, yeah. Slowly, ain't no more taking it slowly, yeah. Holy, you're dealing with something that's holy, yeah. Hold me, I need somebody to hold me. I'm still cooking out the basement, and this game needs some saving. And I'm ready for the action, cause I'm tired of the acting. What happened to being great? What happened to being fashionably late? What happened to rocking shows? What happened to spitting flows? Been wearing the cons and the pros. Feel like I'm the only pro. If we gon' go, then go. We could take it toe to toe. I've been doing everything you've been doing, but I'm really doing more. I'm about to explode. You gon' need someone to hold. Hold me. They cannot hold me. Yeah. Slowly. Ain't no more taking it slowly. Yeah. Holy. You're dealing with something that's holy. Yeah. Hold me. I need somebody to hold me. Nothing's for certain, but this I know. Life is but moments that come and go. Tomorrow may never come, but the memories live on. Be strong, don't cry when I'm gone. This life is a path to infinity.
I'm really out for blood this time, look. Woo. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend to tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. Heard they was sleeping again, saying no more. This is a rude awakening, kicking the door. Back and I'm better than ever before. Don't get it mistaken, I'm ready for war. I see the option, I'm up in the score. I catch a and jump in the force. Follow the core and the back to the morgue. Take the sheet off and I some more. When I am done at the scene, I won't leave anything. You won't even know who is involved. Don't let me do it cause I overdo it and do it till I cannot do it no more. All of the dallas, I'm proving them wrong. Back with the classic, I know it's been long. Heard it was missing me while I was gone. I smell the victory back up on time and it's where I belong. Like it ain't to me, we making history. Fall through the misery, weather the storm. Can't let them get to me, no weapon form shall prosper. R&B all over my roster. I got options, I keep it right on the dresser. Next to the Oscar, applying pressure. Somebody stop us. Woo! Applying pressure, somebody stop us. Running my concert, go need a doctor, go need a doctor, go need a what? I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend to tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend to tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. So now they on my body. Made it to the top. Ain't no way that they can stop me now. They gon' say I joined the Illuminati. I got demons all around me. Tell me what they know about me, huh? I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend to tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend to tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. I'm downstairs. You mean? I told you I'd be ready. You always got excuses and you know I be on top of things. Punctual with my proper name. On the dot is not your aim. Although we in love, we are not the same. I hit you on that celly. told you I'd be ready. You always got excuses and you know I be on top of things. Punctual my proper name. On the dot is not your aim. Although we in love, we are not the same. I hit you on that celly. You said you needed 5, that was more than 12 ago. Claim you got your hands tied, time stuck like Velcro. Georgia Peach on east side like it's ATL. You lacking, you tripping, you slacking, impatient, you waiting, confused like what happened. How you get attitude cause I'm getting mad, cause you wanna take 20 minutes and a half. And on top of that, I gotta get gas out of the freeway, pick up traffic. What the is you doing? We gotta dip, 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 dip. Cardi, yeah. Watch your tick, 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 tick. Waiting for that last minute for your hell. Now stop playing games, go and bring your downstairs. Come on, let's go. Come on, girl, let's go. Girl, you know that time that you wasting, like time that you wasting, like time that you wasting on my time. Come on, girl, let's go. Come on, girl, let's go.
Today, from M&T Bank Stadium.
Ryan Suckup, the man tasked with getting this one started. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And he's been, in my mind, the best player in the NFL at this point of the season. And I think if you poll folks with a ballot, and I certainly have one, I think they'd say he's the front runner for MVP. So now it comes down to finishing out the season strong. And a good game here would certainly strengthen his case.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. It's caught at the 10. A huge play there right off the bat. 63 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. They'll try and run right on the option. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. Scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out. And the Texans are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And it's caught inside the 5. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead.
All right, we're talking new football here. We're talking new models, new paradigms, new ways of looking at things. They score. up for the PAT, fake it, and go up 8-0. I'm kind of at a loss here because if I'm going to go for two, I'm going to ask him to put the ball in the 2-yard line and bring my offense out.
Exactly. Opening drive of the game, faking it is bold enough from the 15. That's quite. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Texans scoop it.
Oh, that was white.
And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. Josh Lambo now for the point after. It's up and good, 15-0 here in the first quarter. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. From the 6. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. Steps away to his left. And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there, and in the process picks up the first down. A good pickup there, 21 yards. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. On 2nd down, Cook. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Here's Hurts to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll only get this back to the 15-yard line. So that decision's going to cost him 5 yards. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. Oh, what a move. And he's got some space here. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a 1st down. Another run here with Dobbins. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. So, Charles, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now, here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start down in the Sunshine State. An AFC East matchup between New England and Miami. And it's the Patriots with the lead in that one. Robert Woods, a touchdown reception. From there, we head north to Minnesota. Check on the Vikings at home at U.S. Bank Stadium. And they trail the visiting Chiefs in that one. Deontay Hardy, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting New York Giants. Ezekiel Elliott leading the way on the ground there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well. That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
51's the mic. 51's the mic.
Throwing is Hurts. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. Dances by him, and he's going to get him another first down here as he's able to dive forward to get as much as he can.
And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13.
Dobbins running out of the gun.
Spins away. Shifts past him at the 45. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
On 3rd down, here's Dobbins.
And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. This to make it a 3-score game late. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And that will keep this a 15-point game. This one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
Hurts.
Eluding the pressure right. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Extra point put through by Succop as this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So here we go. They'll need the recovery, obviously, then a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. And this will be recovered by the Texans. So victory appears to be in sight. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
2nd and 11 now. A give. Dobbins trying the right side.
Oh, no, he lost the football. The big fella. 30. Past the 20. And he is in for the score. So how about this? A horrible mistake leads to a defensive touchdown, and a 2-point conversion will tie it. Now a big play here as the Ravens are going to go for the 2-point conversion.
Hurts will throw.
Pass incomplete. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting.
And now this is going to be a safety. Oh, my goodness, in the final minute, down 2, and now we're looking at overtime. There is not much more you can say about that one, but wow.
I think this is even beyond what a defense could have hoped for. I mean, down 2. Not only do you tie this in the final minute, but now just maybe you give yourself a chance to even win the football game.
And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Texans scoop it.
No, man, no. This is my moment,
And
baby.
in for the score. Are you kidding me? They return it, and they take the lead. So many times, tight games decided by one big play. And a lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.
So for the Texans,
They have indeed reached a perfect 16-0, but now still one game remains before they join.
Hey, DJ Mosky, let's get it. We the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the hurdle. I met the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over. Call the promoters. I just put up in this thing with my soldiers. I blew it and I'm still. Last minute I'ma need me some. Call up Khalifa. Bring them in the. You know I stay with some bad little baby. CGOD baby, know that's a gang gang. Crazy girls after the game. We throwing hundreds, we going insane. Pouring this. Yeah, homies got me pouring this. We get awards, but we give God the glory. I'm shooting.